It was a quiet autumn evening in the small town of Ravenswood. The streets were lined with golden leaves, and the air carried a chill that hinted at the coming winter. Ravenswood was the kind of town where everyone knew everyone, where doors were left unlocked, and neighbors greeted each other with familiarity. Emma Collins, 24, had grown up here. She worked at the local bookstore, a cozy place filled with the scent of old paper and the soft hum of classical music. She loved books, her dog Baxter, and her weekend hikes in the nearby forest. To anyone who knew her, Emma was careful, kind, and cautious, not the type to vanish into thin air. On that particular evening, Emma finished her shift around 9 p.m. She packed her tote bag, waved goodbye to her coworkers, and started the short walk back to her apartment. The streetlights flickered overhead as a crisp breeze rustled the leaves along the sidewalks. Witnesses later said they saw her walking alone, headphones in, unaware of the eyes that seemed to be watching her. When Emma didn't show up the next morning for her shift, her coworkers assumed she had overslept. But calls went unanswered. Texts went ignored. Concern turned to fear as the hours stretched into the afternoon. Her roommate returned home to find the apartment exactly as she had left it. Neat, orderly, nothing missing, yet Emma was gone. Her keys and wallet were on the kitchen counter. Her phone was on the bedside table. There were no signs of a struggle. The local police were called, and a search began immediately. Neighbors were interviewed, security footage from nearby stores was collected, and volunteers combed the streets. Some neighbors reported seeing a shadowy figure loitering near her apartment building late at night, but no one could identify them. The footage confirmed Emma had been walking home around 10 p.m. carrying her tote bag. After that, she vanished. Her family was frantic. Her parents, Peter and Laura Collins, pleaded publicly for information. "Please," Laura said in a tearful video, "if anyone knows anything, no matter how small, come forward. We just want our daughter back." Social media campaigns spread across platforms, with hundreds of shares and comments, yet none led to a concrete clue. Weeks turned into months. The town's initial panic began to fade into a dull unease. Local news outlets occasionally covered the story, labeling it Ravenswood's vanishing mystery. Yet Emma remained missing. Then, 3 months after her disappearance, a hiker stumbled across something unusual in the forest just outside Ravenswood. Partially buried under a layer of fallen leaves was Emma's scarf, damp and weathered. Beside it lay a journal, its pages warped from exposure to the elements. Authorities were alerted, and the forest was once again swarmed by search teams. The journal painted a chilling picture. Emma had written about her growing unease in the weeks before she disappeared. She described feeling watched, being followed home from work, and noticing unfamiliar cars parked near her apartment. The final entry was particularly disturbing. "I feel like someone is always watching me. I don't know who to trust anymore. If something happens to me, know I tried to warn someone." Despite these clues, there was still no solid lead. Investigators were baffled. Was Emma's disappearance the result of someone she knew? A stranger with sinister intentions? Or perhaps, some theorized, a darker force at play in Ravenswood, a town that hid more secrets than anyone imagined. Over the next year, detectives explored every angle. Friends and acquaintances were interviewed multiple times. Online forums speculated about the possibility of Emma leaving voluntarily, but nothing matched her careful, cautious personality. Some suggested a stalker. Others believed she had met with foul play near the forest where her belongings were discovered. The case drew attention from true crime enthusiasts around the country. Amateur sleuths mapped the streets, analyzed footage, and theorized endlessly. Yet the mystery remained unsolved, and Emma Collins became a symbol of the unknown, a young woman swallowed by darkness without explanation. Today, her family continues to search for answers, posting updates and appealing for tips. The town of Ravenswood carries the weight of her disappearance like a shadow over its streets. And for those who hear her story, it serves as a reminder that sometimes the most ordinary nights can end in the most extraordinary and terrifying mysteries.